After I finished the first page, I decided to update the website, put it online, make everything nice on the site. So I've done a couple of changes. This is what the start page looks like if you just go to realityoneremove.co.uk. This is where you end up. I've added navigation as well. The front arrows take you to the first page because there are no pages ahead of that, and this one takes you back to the page 0 sort of thing here. The archive section, I put in thumbnails. This one's a dummy, there's no link behind it yet. This one takes you here. I'm going to make all the thumbnails like this with a number and a bit of grey. I made a tiny bit of, let me find it. Yeah, this one. Made a tiny, it's 100 times 141 pixels. So I'll make a tiny version of the page and put in here, and have the dot of grey and put a number on top. So I'm going to keep this file just to make all the thumbnails look the same, so they fit in the style like this. The art section is completely new. I've actually added things to it. So when you click it, it loads up a bigger image, and you can go out of it either by clicking outside the box or by clicking the one. So these pieces of artwork are things I've done over the last couple of months. It's stuff I've been having around on my hard drive. Let's hope this one loads. Yeah, here we are. And I decided to have a bit of an art section so people can see what other things I'm up to. I might put sketches up on here, sketches of the characters, sketches of different things for different things. And I'm quite pleased with this section. The code that makes the pop-up window happen is not code that I've written myself. It's code that I snatched off of the example I showed earlier that I found on Stack Overflow. I looked into the copyright license, and it said that I just need to provide credit, and I'm free to use it. So I included it in the code. There's a little bit of credit if we look at the page source. You can see it right here. This I put in this. That's it. So this license says that I'm free to use it to whatever I want. So I did that. My jQuery skills are not quite good enough for me to be able to write that code. If they were, I would have done so, but I simply do not have the time to practice jQuery for the time that I would need to do it in order to make this work. Now this did not happen completely, this was not, there was a couple of issues making this, getting this up. So first I kept getting this happening. On the first border I had this, it was covering up some of it, and was also slightly off center, a bit of invasive into the side of it. So I decided, I played around with it, but I couldn't really get it to work. So I decided, instead of having the borders as part of the page, as two separate images, you have the inner border and the outer border, and then you have the comic behind it. In this instance, I decided to just make a Photoshop file with the borders in it that I could just insert the page into, merge it down onto one file, this one, and make sure that the borders aren't invasive, and then just upload that. So on the comic pages, this is one image. It's no longer the comic behind border, it's just one image that is the comic with the border, because it's so much easier to fit onto the page and make sure that it doesn't cover up important things of the comic. The border file, two border images, are still there for the rest of the page, rest of the site, because they're fine for that, really. It was only a problem with the comic itself. And similarly to the archive section, I've made the code for the thumbnails here. They are 140 times 140 pixels, and these images are made in the same way of the archive ones. They're in a container, and then they're spaced apart from each other with the dual class system. So I could just move the container down, add a new container with more recent artworks in it, and fill up the page like that. I'm probably going to put more pieces of artwork on here, but I don't want to put stuff on that I think is subpar on my level. So it will serve as a kind of a tiny portfolio for me, as well as a place to keep sketches about the comic.